case of duped Secret Service agents called an alarming agency breach. The Elite Protection Force, meanwhile, is downplaying the severity of the case to allies, saying the potential national security threat has been overblown by prosecutors and the media. Okay, let's get into it. Secret Service leaders are downplaying any risk to national security after 4 of its employees, including an agent assigned to protect First Lady Jill Biden, were allegedly hoodwinked by 2 men impersonating federal agents and plying them with gifts, telling congressional committees that the severity of the breach has been overblown by prosecutors and the media, according to people familiar with the conversations. But several former Secret Service officials warned that the alleged infiltration of the Elite Protection Agency reveals a major vulnerability extending well beyond this particular case. They said the revelation suggests that agents who had regular access to the White House and the Biden family, who are supposed to be trained to spot scammers or spies seeking to ingratiate themselves, were either too greedy or gullible to question a dubious cover story. If you can compromise Secret Service personnel by cozying up to their agents and their uniformed officers, unwelcome sources can get to the president, said Jim, a retired agency executive and former leader of Joe Biden's vice presidential detail. The case is the latest in a string of embarrassing security breaches and incidents of misconduct involving the Secret Service over the past decade. The scandals have included agents getting drunk and hiring prostitutes on a trip from Cartagena, Colombia.
More salacious details this morning from the prostitute, or as she calls herself, the high-priced escort at the center of the Secret Service prostitution scandal. Yes, this woman, Dania Suarez, is talking on TV. She's the escort who got into an argument with one of the Secret Service agents in Colombia after he refused to pay her. You know the story. It happened before President Obama arrived in Colombia last month. Here's Ms. Suarez on Colombian TV.
You know, neither my friends nor I, we didn't know they were agents, Obama's agents.
In 2012, and an incident in 2014 when a wounded veteran was able to jump the White House fence and get past dozens of armed Secret Service officers and into the executive mansion.
Folks, everybody turn around, head out the gate here. You're going to have to go out to 17th Street, please.
The Secret Service is coming under renewed scrutiny after a man scaled the White House fence and made it all the way through the front door before he was apprehended. President Barack Obama and his daughters had just left the White House when the intruder climbed the north fence, darted across the lawn and into the residence, where agents nabbed him.
An officer investigated last year after posting comments on Facebook in which she accused lawmakers who formalized President Biden's win of treason. According to federal prosecutors, Arian Tahirzadeh, 40, and Haider Ali, 35, posed as Department of Homeland Security agents and offered 2 agents and 2 officers with the Secret Service, as well as 1 DHS officer, a string of gifts beginning at least in February of 2021 and possibly as early as February of 2020. The gifts the prosecutors say were accepted included iPhones, surveillance systems, a drone, a flat-screen television, a case for storing an assault rifle, a generator, law enforcement paraphernalia, and use of what Tahirzadeh characterized as a government vehicle. The FBI also said the 2 Secret Service uniformed officers accepted free $40,000 a year rental apartments from Tahirzadeh for about a year in The Crossing, a luxury Navy Yard apartment complex where the 2 suspects are alleged to have had unusual control over several apartments and where they had set up surveillance. One of the officers told investigators that Tahirzadeh claimed DHS had approved extra rooms as a part of his operations that the officer could live in rent-free. The FBI said searches conducted at the building last week found a stash of police weapons, access codes to federal agents' homes, and equipment to create personal identification verification cards that, if programmed correctly, can be used to access sensitive law enforcement computers. One witness told the authorities that Ali claimed to have ties to Pakistan's intelligence service, prosecutors said, though officials say they have not found evidence confirming such a claim. Both men, who are charged with impersonating a federal law enforcement official, have denied any ill intent. Tahirzadeh said he had no intention of compromising any federal agent and had provided them lavish gifts out of a desire for friendship. While Ali said he had gotten carried away in a ruse he did not fully understand, according to documents filed in federal court Monday. Prosecutors also revealed in court Tuesday that an internal Secret Service investigation had inadvertently tipped off Tahirzadeh to the ongoing criminal probe before the suspects were arrested. How the hell was the suspect inadvertently tipped off to an internal Secret Service investigation? if they do not have someone on the inside, prompting the FBI and prosecutors to rush to get an arrest warrant last week. A spokesman for the Secret Service said in a statement the agency has found no damage to national security, but takes the actions of the employees involved extremely seriously. All four are on administrative leave, and their security clearances have been temporarily suspended pending the investigation. So let me get this straight. They found security codes to FBI agents' homes. They found equipment to duplicate badges to be able to access sensitive Secret Service computers. But their clearances have been temporarily suspended, and they're investigating. Okay. The U.S. Secret Service is taking this matter extremely seriously, conducting an in-depth methodical review of all the aspects of the incident. Well, child, I just blew it up by reading the article. Secret Service spokesman Anthony Guglielmi said, although this is an ongoing investigation, we have found no evidence, really, of any adverse security impacts or improper access to sensitive information. So federal agents' home addresses and security codes and personal identification cards are not improper access to sensitive information. Although this is an ongoing investigation, we have found no evidence to any adverse security impacts or improper access to sensitive information systems or protected locations at this time. Federal agents' homes are not. We continue to work closely with the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office on the criminal investigation and prosecution of the defendants. In their conversations on Capitol Hill and elsewhere, Secret Service officials have emphasized the lack of evidence of either foreign involvement or compromised information. According to people familiar with the conversations who requested anonymity to reveal detail, instead, agencies are saying the case amounts to a small group of employees who unwisely let down their guard when befriended by two men who appeared to be fraudsters and wannabe cops, these people said. Some former Secret Service agents, however, say the incident shows how easily someone could target agency staffers to obtain highly classified information about both the president's movements and national security. What weaknesses in policy or training may have allowed the situation to happen, and how it went undiscovered by the agency for up to 2 years. The case was uncovered only after a postal inspector was investigating an unrelated alleged assault on a mail carrier at the apartment building, officials said. Prosecutors have emphasized that their investigation is in an early stage as they work to understand the potential scope of the alleged scheme and the vulnerabilities it has created within the Secret Service, federal law enforcement, and national security communities. In a Sunday court filing urging the court to detain the two men, an assistant prosecutor to the U.S. Attorney Matthew Graves wrote, each hour since their arrest, the government learns more and scarier information on how Tahirzadeh and Ali abused their fake authority. On Tuesday, prosecutors told the court that they are now investigating whether any bribery occurred with the offer of such valuable items. Really?
I want you to see what it says in the Daily Mail. The pair lived in a luxury Washington, D.C. apartment building, The Crossing, rent-free. Having convinced the management, they worked for the government. They also persuaded the managers to give them access to the residential records and video logs. The building is home to many federal agents and political aides who get discounted rates. The pair, both of whom had Pakistani and Iranian visas in their passports, plus a stash of weapons in their apartments, were arrested on Wednesday and arraigned on Thursday. They will be back in court on Friday. Among other items found was a binder with information on residents in Crossing, D.C., which includes many federal agents, those working for the White House, and congressional aides and advisors. During their time living at the building in the Navy Yard neighborhood of D.C., Ali and Tahirzadeh spent months wining and dining government workers and contractors, cooking them filet mignon and salmon, and inviting them over for beers and hookah in order to work their way into the inner circle. In early 2021, Metro Police searched Tahirzadeh's unit when a person from a surrounding apartment building made a call reporting a sighting of firearms. The other resident saw the weapons from his 3-bedroom corner unit through an open window. Video footage viewed by thedailymail.com showed members of the Metro Police Department and United States Capitol Police searching Tahirzadeh's apartment on the 7th floor. They saw firearms in plain sight that are illegal to own in the District of Columbia, but were provided with credentials that seemed to convince them that Tahirzadeh was an agent permitted to own such weapons. Ali and Tahirzadeh provided the all-access door code to several residents, other sources confirmed. Access to residents' personal identifiable information like full names and workplaces allowed Tahir and Ali to target who to get close with. This included at least 4 members of the United States Secret Service and those working for other federal agencies like the Department of Homeland Security. 4 members of the agency, which includes a member of the First Lady's security detail, have been placed on leave.
It concerns us the types of devices and favors they were given, and whether any may have been bribes, said Assistant U.S. Attorney Joshua S. Rothenstein. As we mentioned, one of them protected the First Lady. Others protected the White House and residents. When we have agents who may have been compromised, it causes grave concern for us. The iPhones, in my opinion, are the most disturbing of the items. Portable, they can be turned on remotely or carry small explosive devices, Hamlinsky said. The phones could capture vital information needed to cause intelligence harm to the president and the first family. This can be a serious security threat. Former agents also said it was alarming that the Secret Service was in the dark about the alleged ruse and may have never learned about it if not for the separate postal investigation. Some suggest the agency consider increased screening of employees with yearly polygraphs, as the FBI and military do for sensitive positions. The Secret Service current safeguards are not enough, said the Obama-era agent. No tripwires were activated here. Currently, the Secret Service questions agents every 5 years to renew their top secret security clearances. The questions are geared to spot problems, such as agents who may be leaking information or have financial or personal problems that make them vulnerable to blackmail. In one case, the agency discovered that a top supervisor on Obama's detail had been lying to the agency and hiding both long-standing and short-term sexual relationships he had with multiple foreign nationals. Officials only learned of the scope of his cover-up after he failed a polygraph in a 5-year security clearance update. Lawyers for Tahirzadeh and Ali said the two had no criminal scheme in mind and that the prosecutors have jumped to the wildest conspiracy theories possible over the most scant of evidence. Child. Defense lawyers told the court that immediately after the two men's arrest, prosecutors had suggested that the government would not seek to detain them. But prosecutors changed their plans as the investigation proceeded. They subsequently claimed that Ali, a naturalized U.S. citizen, posed a risk of flight because of his past foreign travel. Where has he traveled to? Ali has traveled at least twice to his native Pakistan. Once to Egypt and once to Iraq. Although the travel was not recent, Rothenstein said. Ali, who also traveled to Iran between July of 2019 and January of 2020, the prosecutor said, adding Friday that investigators sifting through search warrants returns had discovered overnight that the defendants also apparently obtained a Pakistan national identity card in 2019, available to its citizens who live abroad, Rothenstein said. However, prosecutors have backed away from what they now call an unsubstantiated allegation that Ali claimed to one witness that he had connections to the Pakistan's intelligence service, the ISI. Yo, they're admitting it. And they're like, no, I know what he said, but that's not what it is. Pakistan's embassy released a statement saying that Ali has no such connection. We have never suggested Ali, got funds from anybody in Iran. Exactly. Where did they get the money to do all of this? They had mad luxury apartments and a luxury building. They was giving out luxury cars. They was giving out TVs, iPhones, all kinds of stuff. Where did they get the money to do this? We have never suggested Ali, got funds from anybody in Iran. No one ever suggested he got funds from Pakistan.
This is my True Moisture face cream. This cream is like whipped silk. I made this because it has 5 creams in one. I was tired of using 5 different creams and nobody sold them all together. And I decided I'm going to put them all together because it saves me time in the bathroom. So this is 5 creams in one. It has collagen. It has hyaluronic acid, it has vitamin C, it has retinol, and it has caffeine. All of those ingredients in one. All of the expensive $100, $200, $300 creams separates all of those ingredients to individual creams. I have added them all into one cream for $25. And then I have other price points at $10 and $5.